That's my exercise bike, and I've ridden 3.6 miles, which is pretty good for like old people, which I think old is now like anything over the age of 0. So anyway, I wanted to chime in while I was on the exercise bike real quick. We're about, what's today, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. I lose track of the days because I'm usually always going. We're about 3 days away. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days away from our event in Chicago. We're going to premiere our new film, Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint. We're also going to do a panel discussion. There's a brother named Cleo Mango who did an amazing job in the film. And there's some other experts as well. Award-winning director Dorian Chandler. Chanel Walker, a.k.a. Madam President, does an amazing poem in the film. We're trying our best. We believe in doing our best to do our best, right? What does that mean? That means just, even if you don't feel like you have the resources to do everything you want, or even if you don't feel like you know what the hell you're doing, even if you ain't never done it before, even if you don't know if it's going to work out, even if you don't have the support that you need, you just kind of try. So this tour, the Dr. Boyce Watkins Tour, that's what we're calling it. That's the website, thedrboycewatkinstour.com. This tour was something that we just kind of decided to do in 2016. We did a few live events back in 2013, something called the New Paradigm Tour. If you've been riding with me for a few years, you remember that, which was quite amazing. I mean, every venue was sold out. But the thing was, we weren't selling the tickets, right? They were actually free, but the problem was we lost so much money, because a lot of people kind of want a lot, but aren't always willing to give back, aren't willing to sort of buy or pay. So we're trying different ideas, different possibilities, and saying, okay, how can we get this done with minimal cost without having to go beg the white man for his money? Because the problem is, when you start begging white folks for their money, they start telling you what to do. And I'm like, I'm not that guy. It's not going to work. No white man on earth has ever gotten away with telling me what to do. Or no white man has ever stood in my face and tried to control me and won that conversation ever. I don't know where it came from. I mean, I didn't come from a radical family or anything. I just came from regular Kentucky black people. But I think at an early age, when I was a kid, my mother used to say, boy, your mouth will either make you great or get you killed. I'm curious to see which one. And when I met Cornel West for the first time, when we did our New Paradigm event in 2013, we sat and he and I were together about 4 hours and talking. And and I remember he said, brother, I think your mother's going to get both. And I said, yeah, you might be right. But, I think it's okay to die for something that you believe in, because we're all going to die anyway. Death is not a big deal because, if you realize what's real, the fact that we're part of a multi-generational legacy, then you don't fear death as much. You're still going to live just through your children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren, what you give to them. That's something I really believe. So I was just sitting here on this bike, just reflecting. I'm kind of by myself working a lot. So today I ain't really got nobody to talk to, so I'm talking to you. I hope that's okay. I hope that doesn't just sound so weird. But, I was just thinking about this tour, and we're playing in all these cities. And I'm going to just tell you the honest to God truth. If it seems like sometimes we do something that looks a little tacky, a little sloppy, it's because sometimes we don't know what we're doing, And I want to share that with you so that you just know. You ain't got to always know all the answers when you jump out there. The first thing I learned after being pretty well educated was that the best way to be a teacher is to be a good student and to accept the fact that you don't know everything you think you know. A person who thinks they know everything is really going to screw themselves up. So, we don't really know everything that's happening. We don't know exactly how to do everything. We're planning our events. We did some test events. They went well. We're going to keep going. When we put Houston on the map, or Houston on our, we can't put Houston on the map. Houston's already on the map. We put Houston on the schedule for March 31st. And I had people say, well, that's too soon. Are you sure? And I said, no, let's just do it. Same thing with Louisville. I put Louisville on the schedule. I said, let's just do it because we got to figure out how to do this, how to do these live events. We're learning about street teams and marketing. So if you run a marketing street team and you can really get results, send us an email. Maybe we can hire your company because that's the thing that we're trying to figure out is how to market people locally. Because we can get a lot of people on the web, but not every black person's on the web. So that's when you go into radio stations, and you got people going into barbershops and schools and community organizations. And so that's what it is. I mean, this tour is really testing me because it's costing a lot of money. We're doing everything independent. We're using our money. I'm pulling money right out of my pocket, putting it right back in. So never let anybody make you think Dr. Boyce Watkins is just sitting there, just sitting on a pile of money and not caring about nobody. I'm literally, when you run a business, you start making more money. But if you're really trying to grow that business and you're trying to do it in a way that benefits lots of people, you're trying to operate at a corporate level when you really have an individual's budget, it becomes very tough because, these white boys in Silicon Valley, they'll start a business, they'll go raise $2.3 million and be fine. They're still going to pay their bills even if they lose $1 million a month for a year. Whereas for us, it's a little bit, well, not $1 million a month, but you get the point. For us, it's like we're bootstrapping our growth because we're absolutely fiercely independent. Now, that does not mean that we wouldn't consider other investors, but no investor we've run into has really respected the platform. The only exception was we had an investor in Africa for a while, and all he cared about was making his money back. He didn't care what our mission was. He didn't care what we did, what we said. He was like, look, just give me a good return on my investment, and I'm good. And we did. We gave him a huge return on investment. So generally speaking, I just thought it would be fun to share some of the adventure of the tour with you guys so you just kind of know what it's like to really do business. I mean, the class I teach with Damon Dash, Intelligent Boss Moves, that's what we do. We talk to you about the struggles of being a fiercely independent black entrepreneur. Like Dame talks regularly about the film he's making, Too Honorable, which he is co-executive producing with Kanye West. And I may actually get involved in that project as well. And basically, he talks about, man, I put all my money into this, $1 million into this. Now it's a matter of figuring out how to get the money back. So it's always a grind. So never think that people that are considered so-called successful have it easy. There's really, honestly, I believe that the pioneers are never really on easy street. If you think about big cities that exist out here in this country, big empires, the pioneers were never on easy street. They arrived, there was no food, no buildings, no businesses, bears trying to eat them in the middle of the night, rattlesnakes, all kinds of issues. Couldn't get through the winter. So even though they later on were immortalized and respected for their contribution, it was never as easy for them as it was for the people that came after them, for their successors, right? So to some extent, some of you are the pioneers. So, and I feel I'm a pioneer, I'm off doing this thing, and a lot of people in my family don't really understand what I'm doing. A lot of people don't have the capital to really help us get it done, but we're moving forward. So I encourage you in your life, whatever you're doing, just move forward. Just keep moving forward. Don't sit still. Don't go backward. Keep moving forward. You're going to figure it out. Just be prepared for the discomfort, though, because when you're a pioneer, you ain't never on easy street. All right, everybody, I'm about to get out of here. Don't forget, if you want to go to one of the tour stops, you can find out the cities we're going to and the dates at thedrboycewatkinstour.com. That's thedrboycewatkinstour.com. Until we meet again, stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. Oh, and by the way, if you want to take a finance or business class, you can sign up at theblackbusinessschool.com. We have 20,000 students now. Black people are getting on board with this economic revolution. Best use of my PhD ever in my life. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Notice that I've now been riding for 23 minutes, and I've ridden, well, you can't see it, but it said 5.9 miles a second ago. So I'm about to get my butt off of here so I can get ready for the webinar I'm doing with Dr. Tyra Selden. We're doing a webinar tonight on how to make a living as a blogger or a writer, which is exciting. Dr. Selden and I knew each other back at the University of Rochester when we were both in grad school there. And she has a PhD in literature. And it's one of those real PhDs. It's not one of those, I got my PhD during a weekend program that I took for 6 weeks. No, she went through the grind. So anyway, guys, talk to you soon. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.